It's 3 a.m. again. You lie in bed, staring at the ceiling. Your body begs for sleep, but your mind races like a storm. You've tried everything. The tea, the breathing exercises, the silence. You followed every piece of advice modern science offers, but still, sleep escapes you. What if I told you your insomnia isn't a problem of the body, but a whisper from the soul? A silent cry from the deepest parts of your being, calling for your attention. Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Perhaps your insomnia is not random. Perhaps it is the voice of your unconscious trying to awaken you, not from sleep, but from illusion. Tonight, we won't talk about melatonin or blue light. Tonight, we will journey deep into your inner world to uncover why you truly can't sleep and how Jung's wisdom may hold the key to peace. Why you can't sleep? According to Jung, in the silent hours of the night, as the world fades into darkness and the last whispers of daily activity dissolve, many find themselves staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep. The room is quiet, yet the mind is noisy. Thoughts race, worries echo, and the body lies restless. It is not merely a physical inability to rest, it is something deeper. According to the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, the reasons we cannot sleep are not just mechanical, they are profoundly psychological, even spiritual. Jung believed that sleep is not just a biological function, but a sacred process, a descent into the unconscious. And if we are at odds with the unconscious, we will never find peace when our eyes close. Let us explore deeply and slowly what Jung might say to you, the modern soul, about why you cannot sleep, the war within the soul. Jung's psychology was centered on the idea of inner conflict. He argued that many of our modern true ailments, anxiety, insomnia, depression, are symptoms of a deeper spiritual war, a war between who we are and who we pretend to be. When you cannot sleep, ask yourself, am I living my truth? In Jungian terms, the persona, the mask we wear in society, often dominates our lives. We act strong even when we are broken. We pretend to be happy even when we are lost. This false self, when overused, creates friction in the soul, and sleep requires surrender. But how can one surrender when the false self refuses to let go? So Jung would ask, what are you holding on to? Is it an identity that no longer serves you? A role you've been forced to play? A life that looks perfect on the outside, but feels hollow within? This inner disharmony breeds anxiety, and anxiety is the enemy of sleep, the shadow that visits at night. One of Jung's most powerful concepts is the shadow, the hidden, repressed part of our psyche. It holds the parts of ourselves we have denied. Our anger, our fears, our shame, our desires. By day, we push the shadow away. We distract ourselves with noise, work, entertainment, but by night, the shadow returns. Jung would say, what you resist persists. When you lie in bed and your mind suddenly reminds you of a past mistake, or a deep fear, or a truth you've avoided, that is the shadow speaking. And sleep, true sleep, cannot exist in denial. The unconscious demands integration. So the question becomes, have you made peace with your shadow, or does it haunt your nights because you silence it during the day? The fear of death in everyday life. Jung also spoke often of death not as an end, but as a transition. But in modern life, we fear death in every form. The end of a relationship, the loss of youth, the quieting of ambition. Insomnia is often soul's protest against endings. We are terrified to let go. And what is sleep, if not a little death? To fall asleep is to surrender control, to trust the body, to descend into darkness. Those who fear sleep often fear letting go, fear the unknown, fear the silence. Jung might say, your insomnia is your refusal to die to the ego. Sleep demands that we die just a little every night, so we can be reborn with the morning. If your ego is clinging to identity, success, image, it will not let you sleep. It cannot. The ego does not trust the unconscious, but your soul does. Dreams, the forgotten bridge. In Jung's visions from the deep sea of the unconscious. But most people ignore them. You might ask, why does this matter to sleep? Because the soul has something to say. And if you won't listen during the day, it will whisper or scream at night. Those recurring dreams, that sudden, just before you drift off, these are not accidents. Jung would urge you, pay attention to your dreams, they are your inner guide. When we honor the dream world by journaling, reflecting, meditating, we show the total unconscious that we are willing to listen, and in return, it may let us rest. But when we treat dreams as nonsense, the unconscious feels dismissed, ignored, and sleep becomes a battleground. Technology and the severing of soul. Though Jung died before the digital age, his warnings were prophetic. He believed modern man was becoming alienated from his inner world. Today, that disconnection has only grown. Screens dominate our evenings. Notifications shape our thoughts.